Welcome back to my channel, everyone. My name is Janice. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I would so appreciate if you hit that subscription button, share, and comment and like on some of the videos that I post. I would so much appreciate it. That being said, I'm going to talk about today. I follow this lady, and her name is Miss Tabitha, and I follow her, and she posts a post about there's these two white guys, and they are talking about who can which they're married men, white men, and they are talking about who wives that they think that will agree for them to do I think they call it a wreck on just taking full advantage of her body is what that means, in case anybody here that does not know. In my cultural people, we call it a train. But I'm starting to fully understand the gravity and the mindset of white America, especially the men. And I'm starting to understand why the majority of those white men voted for Donald Trump, because a lot of those men believes in what Donald Trump sells to this country. They are Donald Trump. His beliefs is their beliefs. This is why I always encourage my daughter, especially I got one daughter that's happily married to a black man. I got another daughter that has dated a few white men outside her race. I do not encourage that. It was not so long ago, a few years ago. I didn't really try to get into that in her life and none of my daughter's life like that. But after doing all the knowledge that I have right now as far as European men, white men, I do not encourage my daughter to date a white man at any given time. I have told her, because the majority of white men voted for Donald Trump. If she was to date anyone, and y'all can call me whatever name you want to call me, because I love my kids. I want to see them do good. I do not want to see them with somebody that voted for the things that this man stands for, and I will not welcome them in my home. And I have made that clear to her that from the state that we are in, is a red state. Majority of these people here voted for Donald Trump, and I do not trust any of them, and I have let her know that I do not trust any of them. I have talked to her on many occasions, and I have tried to persuade her to go a different path, because right now I don't see going that particular path as far as dating is going to be an option for her, because I want to see her happy, settle down, like the other daughter that I have, my second daughter that I have, that is happily married. I got 3 grandkids from that marriage, and I'm satisfied. I want my other daughter, the one that's currently not married and is single, I want her to be, just find someone that not those type of people. Because these guys was talking about how they can convince their wives to allow them to do such hideous things to their bodies. And this just shows that White men does not have any respect for their wives. So why would I want my daughter, the child that I carried for 9 months and raised for 18 years, why would I want her to be with somebody like that? I won't accept them. They will not be welcome in my home. And my opinion is, that's just my opinion. That's how I feel about it. And I'm not going to try to, the one can't change my mind. And she's not going to change my mind. It's just how I feel. I think it's the thing that they were saying on that video. If their wives were to hear something like that, and most white women, it wouldn't surprise me that they would go along with such thing, because they sit back and they tolerate anything that their husband ask them to do. You know, the domestic violence in a lot of their relationship is beyond belief. And I have witnessed a lot myself in my neighborhood. And they're different from the black women. I don't know anything about the women of any other race. I just know I have witnessed from their race and in my race. A lot of things that they tolerate and do, black women would not tolerate that, and would not do that, and would not allow any man to treat her like that. Now, I'm not here to say that there's not African American women, black women out there that doesn't have that same kind of mindset and that mentality to allow a man just treat them any kind of way. If that is your wife, it's something and someone that God had bonded y'all together. If you come and you disrespect that, and you cannot be loyal to her, have the utmost respect for her, not just talking about everyday things and then being with her and then having her back. I'm talking about loyalty in the fullest, 100% loyalty. And as far as the body, you have got to be some sick type of person and a sick type of man that will allow any other man to come into your home and violate your wife's body. And then you stand there and you get a kick out of that, you get a joy out of that, and it's some kind of turn on for you. No, I don't want anybody like that. I wouldn't allow any man like that with my children, the children that I have raised. And if any man even try that with my children, there's going to be some serious consequences for that, because I can promise you, me being an African American woman and a black lady, I can promise you, I won't lay down for that type of behavior out of anybody that I'm going to called a son-in-law. That's not going to happen. I don't encourage my kids to even think about trying to date outside their race at this point. Now that I got nothing against white people, I don't. And I'm going to use that line that y'all always use when it comes to us. I got friends that are white. I got people, good people that I know for a fact that is white, and they're really good, decent people. But for the majority of y'all are not decent at all. Y'all created the filth, the nastiness, all the things that when it comes to stuff like this, talking about letting some other guy come in your home and violate your wife's body, and you can sit there and be okay with that. Make that make sense. I had to listen to that video, and I actually listened to it maybe 5 to 6 times just to really get a grasp and understand at what they was really actually saying. And they were saying that if one of those wives allowed them to do that, the other one to do that, that they would be down with that and would actually do that. I do not understand. I understand that I've always understand the mindset of these people, but every day it seems like since Donald Trump came down his golden escalator, that they are showing, just full out showing the type of people that they are, which is why everything he does align into what people that voted for him have always wanted to be able to speak freely about such things without consequences. So here we are. Y'all think that is a good thing? Donald Trump is not going to be the person that save your soul if you had one. At this point, I have said constantly time again that a lot of y'all don't have no soul. Y'all was not born for soul. I don't know what, y'all have not been here for many years. And when you came on the scene, you came on the scene with the mentality that you got now. There's not nothing that you won't do as far as violating people, we're violating their rights, we're violating the civil rights, we're violating their bodies, the mental state of mind. You abusers, y'all are abusers, and that's to the full extent. There's nothing, y'all don't have a limit to what you would do, and the sickening part about that, you get a kick out of doing it. I pray, and I continue to pray for y'all. But God knows, the more I see videos that y'all speaking of terrible, hideous things that y'all wants to do, your mindset, y'all are the biggest pedophiles in this country. Y'all numbers are way up there at the top. Y'all number one as being a pedophile. Y'all will look at children. I don't know how anybody could look at a child and then actually get something, get off on that. Y'all are so terrible. Y'all are some of the terriblest people. If that's not the attitude, if this is not close to Satan, then I do not know at this point what is. To actually men sitting, talking to each other about who would be able to get their wives to let them violate their body while the other one watch, is beyond me. It is beyond my comprehension of anything I ever heard in my life. We don't do that kind of stuff. Thank God we don't. We do not do that. I pray not only for y'all, I pray that for my own people. I pray that my people, my family, people that I love, do not ever cross the path of people like this. Because this is sickening. It is sickening to its core. It don't get no sicker than this. And you look at kids and you think that, a lot of y'all think that this is okay with God, and then you go to church. You have the audacity to go to church and call yourself Christian people. Y'all are not Christian folks. God will not accept y'all in his kingdom with that mentality, that mindset. He is not going to accept you in his kingdom. and then you think you're going to live out eternity there after all the naked, sinful things that y'all going through your mind about children, letting your wife being violated by other people, right in front of it, and you get off on this. The gall. Y'all created all of this sinful stuff. Y'all created this stuff. Majority of it. Because y'all, and it's not to say, so don't nobody come in the comments telling me that, it's just not about that. My people does that too, and our race of people does that. That's not what I'm saying. I said for the majority, it's y'all. Y'all created this. Y'all did this. Y'all are some of the office people. And I pray every night that my children, my niece, don't ever come into pact with people like y'all. These people, you have to take us, Jesus Christ, Lord, just heal this land, heal this world, because it's just the things that's going on now, it's mind-boggling. It is so far and beyond anything that I ever thought in my years of living that I would ever listen to such things on national TV where the world can see and know how you feel about people that you claim you love. That's not love, people. Y'all need to get it together, because tomorrow we just enter into a new year. Tomorrow is not promised to anybody. You do not want to close your eyes and then never wake up again and then have to face these consequences of your mindset. Y'all need to get it together, because y'all are some terrible, sick-minded people. I don't know what else to say, y'all. I don't know what to say. It's mind-boggling. After this, I have to go. I got to do a cleansing. I got to pray. I got to do something to get to wash this stuff that I cannot take back now, because I done heard it and seen it with my own eyes. But I have got to pray and get this stuff out of my mind so I'm able to go forward and continue to bring my message to whoever that needs to hear it, and whatever. I hope I say something that inspires someone that wants to get themselves together and want to get their life to make some changes. Because if you don't, you do not want to take your last breath with that kind of mindset that you are okay. That you are okay with someone taking full advantage of your spouse in front of you, and you actually can get a kick out of that and just watch that with no problem. Lord, help this world, because if God came today, this is one lady, I would be so happy, because I know all of this stuff that's going on will come to a halt and a end. I don't know what else to say. Y'all pray for each other. Pray for people, your loved ones around you, that you do not want these type of people to cross their path and then come into their life and then violate them in this manner. I hope everybody's having a happy first of the year, first day. But let's start it out different, people, because we're running out of time.